Worst
Here it is
build
right
I've
here.
ever seen.
Why?
I don't know, because we haven't seen it yet.
Okay.
It's my
Now
build.
let's talk characteristics of the Perth and what I like to call her the Poith, like Poi. She's a light cruiser at tier 6. She's got crawling smoke. And the nice thing about the Perth is that she can crawl smoke, and then she can spot things with a plane that goes up, or with hydro. And she's got a lot of guns that reload relatively quickly. So you can do a lot of really dirty things with her. She's fantastic in ranked battles because of this. She's great in anything for that matter. So if you get your hands on a Perth, you're gonna have a good time. If you're looking for a tier 6 cruiser.
It's like a Leander, but with HE and crawling smoke.
Yeah, all the things you ever wanted in a ship. There it is. The only thing it's missing is a heal, right?
And the stop range is pretty bad.
Well, I mean,
The
other thing it's got going for it wasn't banned during the tier 6 clan battle season.
This is true. Huang He and Perth were mainstays in clan battles. It's a pain in the butt to play against, but she's fun. So let's take a look at Blue Falcon's build. He's doing exactly what I do as well. He's got the buffed special upgrades for smoke, for spotting, and for hydro. And then because of the fact it's a British design, it's got that baked in propulsion, so really steering gears makes the most sense. You could make the argument for depth charges, but they're roll off, so
depth charges are bad, so no.
Yeah.
If you want to save yourself some coal, like, you can get away with not having the hydro module, but the smoke mod is almost mandatory. Like,
that's right.
And the
awesome guy got a Brandenburg B.
Nice,
good job, awesome guy. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
That's awesome.
Out of a regular Black Friday container?
Yes,
Jeez.
Out of one of the 3 regular Black Friday, he got a Brandenburg Black. That's awesome. So, anyways, getting back onto it, I would agree, if you need to prioritize these, smoke is your bread and butter. That's number 1. Number 2 is going to be spotting aircraft. You want to keep that aircraft up and circling as long as possible. Distant third is going to be your hydro.
Well, the hydro's like, it burns longer, but then it takes longer to get back on cooldown, so it's a double-edged sword thing.
The idea is you use your smoke, you use your hydro, you use your plane, and then when your smoke runs out, you wait until all 3 of these are on cooldown again, ideally, and then you do it again. That's the ideal setup.
For that, I would say you drop the hydro then, so you get it back faster.
The thing is, for why the hydro module is actually good is because if you take the module, it matches your smoke duration, which means you're always gonna have the hydro active while you're in smoke. If you don't take the hydro mod, your hydro will run out before your smoke runs out.
Right, right. So, like I said, these go hand in hand, and then you wait until they all reload. So she is very much dependent on consumables to put everything together. Okay? That's the key for the Perth. So let's take a look at commander skills. There's no special captain anyways. So Blue Falcon is, like I said, it's all about consumables. Consumable prep time and reload time. Consumable duration. And then into pyrotech or demolition. Okay? Pyrotech is the old name for it. Adrenaline rush is good. Concealment is good. I like the concealment. And IFHE. And then Eye in the Sky. So your spotting aircraft is up sooner and is you get more of those consumable charges. And then finally, heavy AHE and SAP. Because your main battery is over 149 millimeters, you will be detected from longer range. However, if you're in smoke, what do you care about that? So this synergizes well with you being in that crawling smoke. It does not synergize well with you being outside of that crawling smoke. So keep that in mind.
Yeah, I wouldn't take this skill if it wasn't for the crawling smoke.
Of course.
And where the differences between Fem's build and my build is, like, I use IFHE, she does not. It's It's an old question with IHD on these tier 6, tier 7 light cruisers with 150 something millimeter guns.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you take it, you will not be able to penetrate tier 8 battleships, but you will be able to penetrate tier 7 and tier 6 if you take it.
Yeah, so with IFHE, you penetrate 31 millimeters of armor. So, yeah, I mean, it's one of those situations, if you're top tier, you don't care, right? If you're bottom tier, you kind of care because you won't penetrate as much. But you are going to have decent fire chance because you've got your demolition expert. I'm sure you're running the fire flags as well. Where is your fire chance? There it is, right there.
It's okay. It's not the greatest.
But if you think about it, the Perth is really good against destroyers, really good against cruisers. It's also decent against battleships, so IFHE helps with this. Now, you said Fem does not choose IFHE. What does she take?
I think she has top grade gunner in that place.
Okay. So top grade gunner.
Or she has survivability expert. One of the two. I'm not sure.
Okay. Top grade gunner does give you that 8% main battery reload time for enemy ships that are within your standard detection range. The top grade gunner does help quite a bit. Now, if you don't pick that, you could go survivability expert. You could also go superintendent, but let's face it, by the time the battle is over, the chances that you're going to need one extra smoke, hydro, plane, probably relatively low.
The cooldowns are so long, you're not going to get to the 4th.
That's what I mean. Yeah, so survivability expert, if I were to do that, I would also take last stand. I might go for something like that.
Yeah, I had last stand before the commander skill changes, when consumable specialists didn't affect the smoke and the hydro.
Right.
Now I switched it out to take that skill.
Right.
The other
and we talked about that on Friday.
You can make, you obviously don't have priority target with this setup. In order to pick it up, you'd have to drop the demo expert or the eye in the sky. I think if you don't take IFHE, you can drop the demo expert reasonably.
Yep.
If you want the IFHE, dropping the demo expert is a bit more of a problem because then your fire chances gets very low.
Radio location is also a good choice too, because you get an idea of where the closest ship is. Then it helps you discover if it's a destroyer, cruiser, whatever else. That could be handy.
It really comes down to the IFHE. Do you want it or do you not want it? And it's personal preference, honestly, at tier 6. At tier 7, I wouldn't take it because you get up tier more. At tier 6, it's reasonable that you end up in matchmaking where you will be able to penetrate most, if not all, of the battleships.
Okay. Let's take a look at our signals here. So, ramming, anti-det, of course, both fire chance and the flood, hydro search, consumable time, smoke time, ship speed, and then consumable prep time. Yeah, I mean, this is what you want in this ship. Okay. Let's take a look at the game itself. This is a straight 6 battle. It's a random... Wow.
What is this matchmaking?
I know, right? Like, that's...
Much obliged.
That's spicy.
I wonder
matchmaking we would never
matchmaking. But yeah, this is
What
one of the
pudding?
matchmaking where the IFHE is actually nice. Because you can now penetrate all these 3 battleships, which you wouldn't be able to do if you didn't have it.
Yep. Puddin', what were you going to say?
And say this is matchmaking we would never see.
Right?
Like, I would expect at least something in there that would cause it. Like, at least be a CV or be a fail diff or so, but no.
And it's the subs that caused it.
Maybe it was off
It
hours?
could be. Could be. Now, Blue Falcon is over in Europe, so if he's playing on the NA server and he's playing in the morning, then that's like really early for NA server. That could cause a lot of queue dumps. It's definitely a possibility.
I would slow down here and wait until my destroyer on the C side or A side spots something before I pass this.
This is one of the first parts where we need to have a talk. Right. As soon as you come across this lip, if you get spotted, you can get blapped immediately. I would absolutely agree with you, Grunty. Slow down. Also, put your plane up. Your plane gives you so much vision that you don't have right now. I think that would be helpful. I might even purposely crash into the island here, turn into it to stop myself so I don't come out from around this island. I would probably do that, and I'd probably put my plane up. And if my plane spots something that could smack me, then I pop my smoke and I start pew-pewing.
Yeah, I would.
Look at this. He's slowing down.
I agree with Grant. You slow down, but I disagree with putting the plane up. Use that. They don't know where you are because you're not located. Put your plane up. They know there's something there. Wait until that cap is getting capped to come out also.
So, you just discovered the Baleares, and it's heading straight to the B cap, and he's right outside of your detection. You need to immediately react by smoking here, because you came out. So because of that, you need to smoke, you put your plane up, you can delay your hydro a little while, but you don't want to get yourself detected. Instead, you're going full speed, you're trying to get behind this island, and now you've gotten yourself detected.
Smoke generator activated.
He's not even looking at them anyway. He's tunnel vision.
Cochrane's reversing.
That smoke was just like a little bit too late there. I would definitely reset the cruiser in the cap too. Like.
Yep. Look at B cap. You get a lot more XP from D caps there, so that would have been very handy for you. Chat, for those of you guys who are new to the replay theater, this is one of the things that we like to do. We take a look at replays that people have submitted. And, you know, we're all about trying to give feedback and help out. This isn't a judgment kind of thing. We're not going to say you are a bad player and you should feel bad because you are bad or something like that. We're trying to help people out.
I mean, I like that fact I shot the DD, but he's just completely ignoring B. He's too tunnel vision on this battleship.
Ironically enough, the Baleares did not get the cap, so it kind of worked out for you. You feel attacked, oh my god.
Well, that's what I'm here for.
I would honestly not stop and reverse there. I rarely do that in the Perth. I tend to just keep moving forward at the quarter speed.
You can't sit still. Too many people shoot at smoke clouds these days.
Right, so you got to move forward or backward. Now, I paused here for a second because if you look at your consumables, you have a minute left. This is the part where you need to start thinking about your exit. All right, with your final minute, how do you position yourself so that you can get out of smoke and be unspotted when your smoke expires? That's the key, because if you are spotted when the smoke expires, you are dead, or at least you've lost a lot of hit points.
At least at that distance, like, you can use that spotter plane to just play the Perth open water at like 14 kilometers with the spotter plane while the smoke is on cooldown, or just do the regular light cruiser thing and abuse islands. But yeah, but sitting here, like, you basically lost the chance of continue shooting the battleship here by reversing and not going forward, so you can't arc over the island anymore.
Also, you should be running your hydro if you're going to sit here in the smoke like this. Waiting about 30 seconds to hydro is fine, because most people aren't going to just randomly dump torpedoes in your general direction until they see the smoke screen. Once they do, then they're going to think, okay, so you should be running your hydro.
There's also another thing with the reversing for those British ships. They are really, really bad in going from reverse to full speed forward again. So if you would be torqued while you're reversing, your ability to dodge these torpedoes is very, very limited.
That's right. Now, smoke has expired. You are behind the island, so you can shoot for free right now. You are extremely fortunate that that's the case. It didn't seem, at least, like you set yourself up for that. It just kind of happened to work out that way. Hey, fine. If that's the case, it's the case, but... Nope, you're spotted. Now what? Don't torp on the line, because he's probably going to slow down, turn in, whatever. I like your decision to hold fire here until you start moving. In case you are spotted again. That's smart. That's very smart. Don't shoot the same part of the ship. Shoot the front or the back. It's already on fire. Can't set another fire on the same part.
Yeah, you can. That's also a reason why you take the IFHE, right? You can just aim for the bow and stern and get the pens and the fires. You don't have to aim for the superstructure.
That's right.
Spotter returning to ship.
Since these battleships are kind of pushing through, I'd be inclined to go forward. Just to make sure this island stays between you and those battleships.
Yeah, he's doing that a little bit now. But yeah, you're not really... Oh, you're spotted again. By a plane. So that's the New Mexico's plane. There's no reason... I don't think there's a need for you to run away just yet. And panic. You got him with your torpedoes. Good. I would be backing up here. I would hold off on smoking, though.
Yeah,
until you knew you wanted to farm the Android Doria.
I would not back up because he's running away and he's eventually outrunning you. I would just go forward and do the 180 turn and chase.
I see that now. Yep, I see that now.
I mean, overall, that was a nice use of the island. Don't get me wrong. But as you said earlier, it felt like just a coincidence that that island was there at this moment than a planned thing.
Right.
Like, if it was planned, then okay. All the better. But it didn't look like it was planned.
Generally, when I'm using my smoke, when I see that minute left on my smoke, I'm already thinking, how am I going to get out of this? Right? What's my exit strategy going to be? And I think that's really important, you know, to be thinking about, because a lot of times in these ships especially, you end up outside of your smoke and then you're spotted and you say a few choice words as the enemy just smacks you.
You want to make sure that you're like 12 kilometers away when the smoke expires, or you have something in between.
Right.
I would probably turn straight north here and see if you can just get ahead of these other ships that are inevitably chasing into the B cap again, like they kind of have to, so you can slowly kite away while shooting at them.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. You're down at this point. There's only 4 enemies left, so I can understand the thought of, well, I can be a little more relaxed. I would not have shot there without being in smoke, though. And you've recognized that, right? Because you slowed down and now you've smoked as the Mackinson comes into range. But if the sub was right there and able to ping you, whatever, that could be very problematic for you.
Torpedoes direct front.
I would just keep going forward now at the quarter speed and make a right turn.
Torpedoes dead ahead. Torpedoes to starboard.
And keep my guns shooting towards the left. I would not be sitting in that spot.
I would have shot the battleship there. I would have held my guns for the battleship if you were going to come out of your smoke and spot something. I mean, I guess it's a bigger threat than Nuremberg. That somehow
Absolutely.
hasn't exploded.
Yeah, it's kind of odd to see a Nuremberg that hasn't exploded, isn't it?
How nice of your destroyer to smoke up the enemy team there.
Ironically, this is where I would actually rush towards both of them.
I was just about to say that. You've got no vision, just get out and run. I mean, what do you got to lose? Instead of you reversing.
Yeah, I
Have
don't...
you even... I don't think he's used a single Hydra this game.
No.
no, I don't think he has. I really dislike the reversing in the ship.
It's a bad habit to get into.
Too many times with like not in the Perth, but it happened to me in the Hector. Like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, you just reverse in your smoke, and then all of a sudden there is a torpedo slightly behind your ship, and you're, yeah, I'm not gonna dodge that because I'm not going forward enough still again. So...
Yep. Well, and I mean, I think that's just kind of one of those bad habits that you learn playing a destroyer, especially like an American destroyer, right? You smoke up and you reverse. But this is a cruiser, and you have to respect it as such. You've put yourself in a really weird spot.
Smoke screen set.
I go chase the DD
Oh,
now.
look. The sub. Well, and that's where it would certainly help to have radio location, right? To know exactly where that that destroyer was. I mean, it's a Farragut, so whatever. But
I would not be worried much about the fact. Like, honestly, the sub is the much bigger threat because you have depth
I agree.
charges.
I agree. And Hydro now would be another good opportunity for you.
I'm pretty sure with how it's going on that the sub is actually trying to go after the battleship. So
I mean, of course he is.
honestly, going towards the battleship here and trying to maybe get this sub trap between you is the right play. But I agree, like the Hydro needs to go up. Like
Especially now when you're spotted.
The sub is even in Hydro range. Like if he's going periscope now or surface, he would be spotted.
Destroyed.
But see, you let the sub kill the battleship while you kill the DD, then you come back and kill the sub.
Yeah, and by that time you don't know where the sub is anymore, and then you die to its homing torpedoes.
He has to
Well,
cap,
the sub died anyway.
right? Like you have two caps to their, well, it would have been one.
So you're running away from a Farragut right now. I'm curious why you're running away from
Because he thinks the
full
sub
health.
is still alive. Look at his guns. His guns are still where the
Yeah,
sub
he
was.
is looking. And now he's realized, okay, I've made that mistake too. It happens.
Hydro is up now, though.
Okay. A little early if you think that the Farragut is your torpedo threat. But better too early than never. Okay. Let's take a look at the results screens here. 65,000 damage. You came in third place. Not too bad. But, you know, like we said, stop reversing. You don't need to be doing that. And I think the other big thing is don't forget you've got Hydro. Use it.
Yeah. Like that's the huge advantage of the crawling smoke, right? That you don't have to sit still in your smoke and do this forward backward motion, but you can just keep going at quarter speed.
I think this game is 90% luck.
Okay, and why is that?
Well, he got lucky that the cruiser didn't shoot at him,
Okay,
right?
fair.
He got lucky that the battleships came to where an island was between him and
Yep.
he never got torps into his way once at all. So whether he used hydro or not, it's almost irrelevant, right? The sub died to a flood or something from the battleship.
Correct. I think a lot of it it's a habit to be used to doing. You know what I mean? It's a best practice. That's all.
Oh, I'm not saying it's a bad habit. I'm just saying like it's 90. This game was 90% luck. Like unfortunately, Blue Falcon's not here to tell us how much of it that he was planning out, but
right,
he was smart enough to take advantage of the way the enemies came at him, right?
Yep. Like I'm pausing the replay right here, for example, and he's got the Gaeta so far in front and south that the Doria Trento feel comfortable going into Sea Cap, and also that means that Blue Falcon is pretty well covered right now too. So that makes sense.
Yeah, that island is providing good cover for him here, but as we said, I'm not sure it was on purpose that he ended up behind that island here.
Right. Okay. So we need a title for this one. What are we going to call it?
All luck, no skill?
No.
You're so mean.
I'm just saying, like, a lot of this is just the enemy just played right into where he was sitting and didn't do anything about it. Like, my biggest criteria is lack of situational awareness, lack of reading the mini map.
Okay.
I mean, did he even take any damage this match?
That
a little.
I mean,
that's irrelevant, right? If you play extremely well, you should take little to no damage unless you're playing a battleship to where you do need to be trading your HP. But as a smoke cruiser, this is how you should do it. You should take little to no damage.
You're a light cruiser. Every time you get shot at by something big, there is a chance you just explode. I've been death struck in Perth, but like by ships I didn't even expect would shoot me.
I mean, in New Mexico, I don't think he even shot at him. I think those shells that went over him were for the ships behind him. At least the first shot.
Well, I'm not sure if these battleships from the B cap actually could lob over the island. He might have been perfectly safe there, too. Like even if he was spotted, it's hard to tell.
At tier 6, you still get a lot of battleships that need to assert dominance on other battleships because they're the same class, and therefore I must be the better battleship. Which, by the time you get to tier 10, still sometimes happens, ironically enough, but most of us know that's not how you battleship, so.
Yeah. Here's the thing with the build too, like you don't want to risk that because you don't have priority target. You don't know if that battleship is actually shooting you or not. Like, especially if you're close to another ship, like then you often can't even tell by looking at the guns. So you have to be extra careful.
It's a very good point. It's a very good point. Okay. Well, that takes care of that replay. That was a really nice one. So Falcon, thank you for your support and thanks for sending that one in, dude. Appreciate you so much. And yeah, hopefully this gave you some food for thought for your future games in the Poith, right?